Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to this. Actually, it's the inaugural video in this series of videos that we're making here at the Complementary Medical Association for our treasured members. What we want to do is to showcase them so that you know what they're offering and you can get to know a little bit about their work and how you might possibly be able to link in with that. So today I'm joined with an absolutely gorgeous lady, Amanda Joy Harrison. And Amanda Joy is somebody that I have, I've been in contact with for many, many years. She's been a CMA member for many, many years. Amanda Joy is the Director of Studies at the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy. Have I got that right?
That's correct, yes.
So welcome, Amanda Joy. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for asking me. It's a real pleasure to talk about the CMA as well, because you've been so supportive of me throughout my career as I've developed my practice and now my training at school as well. So it's an absolute privilege to be chatting with you today. Thank you.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I'll pass your comments on to the team because, they work very, very hard. So, we're very blessed to have a fantastic team, behind the scenes as well. So Amanda Joy, let's get cracking. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're actually offering? What are the courses that you do? Tell me a little bit about your work.
So we have two main courses that we offer at the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy. They both aim to help you to prepare to become practitioners, therapists, clinical hypnotherapists. Our first is a foundation training course that kind of gives you the opportunity to dip your toe in the water and see if it's for you. And it's great as a continuing professional development or just to kind of find out more about hypnotherapy. What is it? There are so many kind of strange ideas about hypnotherapy. It's a great way to kind of just find out more. And then there is our diploma training in clinical hypnotherapy that enables you to train up to practitioner level so that you can start to work with clients, work with people who absolutely are, there's such a need at the moment for people who are well qualified, who can support people with their mental and emotional well-being right now. So it's a real privilege to be able to support people into our industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. We're seeing just, obviously the time we're recording, and obviously this video will be up on YouTube for some time, but the time we're recording at the moment here in the UK, we're still in lockdown. We've been given a path out of lockdown, but who knows if that's going to stick. So we're just sort of emerging from winter right now, sort of heading in towards springtime, and so we're feeling slightly more optimistic overall. But having said that, springtime is a notoriously challenging time for people with mental emotional health issues, because the thing is, I think that a lot of us think, oh well, it's springtime, I'm supposed to be feeling happier, but we've taken the biggest hammering, haven't we, throughout COVID, throughout lockdown, in so many respects. So I really do think that what you're offering is fantastic. But the first question I've got for you is, you mentioned first of all the foundation course.
Yeah.
Now, my understanding is that you offer that for free, which is pretty amazing. So can you tell me why you offer that for free?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it comes from my own journey really of learning. And as a obsessive learner, and I'm sure you're one of these too, I love doing a course. I love learning new things. I like reading and researching. But quite often I've paid up for a course and I've joined and I've been really excited about it. And then I've got onto the training day and I've met the colleagues, and perhaps I haven't quite had that connection with my colleagues that I've thought maybe I wanted to have, particularly if it's quite a deeply therapeutic training course. You need to feel comfortable with your colleagues. There needs to be that good bond, a good rapport with your colleagues. So you want to check to make sure you like your colleagues on the course. Also, you want to know that there's that lovely rapport with the tutor as well. You need to feel a good connection, that you've got something in common, that you're going to understand what they're saying and how they're communicating and talking to you. You need to kind of get on well with them too. Also, sometimes the course materials seem amazing, but when you get them, you think, oh, they're not really as good as I'd like them to be. Or, oh, I thought this was going to be what I was expecting and it really wasn't. Or, oh, I really thought this was going to be for me, but now I'm on it, I'm not sure it is. And so, because this has happened to me a few times, I thought, how do you get around that? When we're asking people to invest quite a large amount of their love, their passion, their energy, their time, their resources, and their cash as well. It costs money to train and qualify. If you've invested a lot of yourself and your finances into a training course, and then you realize it's not really for you, what do you do? Mm-hmm. So this gives you the opportunity to meet the trainers, to really check out the course materials, to see the level of support that we offer as a college, to meet with your colleagues, and to just really dip your toe in the water and see if it really is for you. And then if it is, well, great. You've had a little free weekend, and then you continue on. You can choose then to continue on and do our diploma training course, knowing that it is the right course for you. Just because whenever you choose a therapist, you need to know that it's the right therapist for you. And sometimes when you meet someone, you think, oh, they sound really great, they're amazing, they've got all the right letters after their name, they're wonderful. But then when you actually come to work with them, you think, I just don't quite resonate with that person, or just don't quite connect with that person. And maybe that person is not the right person for me. Similarly, because in our classroom, we are working in a therapeutic way with each other, there needs to be that level of comfort and communication. It needs to be the right course for you. So this really just gives people the opportunity to dip their toe in the water and ask themselves that question: is this the right course for me? And am I ready to dedicate my time, my energy, and my passions and my finance to learning how to become a clinical hypnotherapist? I think that's a really useful thing to do. And then, of course, when you know it's right, that's when you're going to be so much more motivated to complete the 400 hours of self-study time that we require for the diploma, and the 140 hours of synchronized learning that we provide as well. So it's quite a demanding, it's quite a demanding course. There's lots of reading and lots of things that you need to do, and it really does need to be right for you. So our foundation course gives people that opportunity to test the waters and see whether it is right for them.
That is so fantastic. I mean, I have to say that I totally agree with you. I think it's crucial. And this is actually one of the things that we have on the CMA website is when people are looking for training courses, one of the things we do say in black and white is contact the college. Make sure that you are investing substantial resources, both time, both financially, emotionally even, and chunks of your life, let's face it, in this course. And so or in any course that that we represent over 188 different courses. And it's a very interesting thing, because there has to be that connection and that gelling. Otherwise, you will feel like a fish out of water, and it's very, very difficult. But I will give you a funny example. Something that happened to me was after I finished my homeopathic training, I wanted to be a better case taker. I wanted to get more information out of my clients, and somebody suggested to me, go and speak to a hypnotherapy trainer, and we are going back many decades now. He's based in Nottingham. I was down in London at the time. He's based in Nottingham, but you can just go and do like that first module, because that will give you some of the skills that you need to be able to be a better case taker. So I did. I drove up to Nottingham and did this first module, and I think it was over a month or two, something like that. So I was going up, every few weeks and so on. It's a long old drive, but my goodness, I have to say, 2 years later, I was still doing the drive, because I'll tell you something, you know, if you get that gel and you find a course that you love, then my goodness, you know, it sounds like very arduous. You know, you say about all the hours and the amount of time. We'll come on to that in a moment, but you know, how much of a commitment we need to make. But my goodness, if the connection is right and the course is right for you, it's the most life affirming, enriching thing that you could possibly do. And I know from your work, and I know the comments that, you know, that I see from your students, I know that you are very much offering that. You know, had I not known about this chap and had we been a few more years on, I'm sure I'd be driving up to you for training. But, you know, it really is, it's definitely worth it. So on that topic, actually, you know, tell me a little bit about the amount of time commitment that, you know, if a student's done the foundation and they think, gosh, you know, this is fantastic, I really, really want to commit to this. What could they expect to sort of?
So we have 2 training days each month. These are really intense training days where they're very practice based, because we do want to teach our students how to use the tools, the techniques and the skills, learn the skills, but we want to teach our students how to deliver those for the unique clients that we're working with, because every single person that will walk through your door or connect with you via technology, whichever way you're working, every single person is going to have had their own life experiences. Their perceptions to the world will be very different, and everybody's so completely different and unique. So they might all be coming, say, with anxiety or feeling stressed out, but everybody's body's going to be responding differently. Everybody's going to have different reactions. Everyone's going to respond better to different words. So it's about learning how to communicate with our unique clients with the right hypnotic language for them. And it's about taking those tools and techniques and the skills that we can learn, but how do we adapt those so that we can deliver effective treatments, effective therapy for people? It means then that your practice is going to be very, very dynamic, but it means that the therapy that you're delivering is going to work much better, and it's going to be very unique and very different. You're not going to be one of those therapists who sit with a script and, you know, induce and deepen trance and then deliver a script. You actually will understand where the techniques came from, who invented them, who brought them into being, how they've developed over the years, and how you can take those tools and techniques and alter them and use them with your unique clients. So the weekends are very intensely practice based, and they're quite full on. Yeah. And then in addition to that, there is quite a lot of required reading and research that you will need to do. And on top of that, there are case studies that you need to carry out. So we have a couple of different ways that we ask students to complete case studies. We have what we call empty chair sessions. This is where you have an imaginary client and you record yourself delivering a therapy for your imaginary client. I quite often talk to my teddy bear or my mobile phone if my phone is recording it. And then you can use that as a really wonderful self-reflective experience, as well as getting feedback from our tutors and from myself as well on how well you're delivering that particular therapy, as well as we want you to be working with real clients too. We want you to be working with real people. So if you kind of think about you finish your weekend, you reflect on what you've learned, you read your student notes, you might listen to the audios that we have, because myself and a couple of my tutors are actually dyslexic. We have all of our notes in size 16 fonts. It's nice and easy to read, but we also have all of our notes as an audio format as well. So you can be doing your homework and revising and listening to the audios while you're doing the washing up and things like that as well. And then we have workbooks that have got tools and techniques and guidance in as well. And then of course you get to work with real clients too. So there's quite a lot of kind of interactive things that you need to do. There's a lot of self-directed study that you need to do between the training weekends. And we estimate, I say estimate, we estimate about 10 hours a week of self-directed study, which is sort of 40 hours a month and 400 hours in total of that self-directed study. It sometimes ends up being a little bit more than that, but that's what we're really recommending that people commit to, is like 10 hours a week of sort of self-directed study. What's different, I think, about how we work in our college is that we do provide one-to-one supervision every single month. So all of our students will have a one-to-one supervision with myself or with a tutor from the college. This is where we discuss your caseload. We discuss the tools and techniques. We have an opportunity to practice anything if you need that help. Also, let's be real, we're all humans as well as therapists. And sometimes we'll work with somebody who does trigger something for us, who might remind us of an experience that we've had in our lives. And I do believe that like attracts like. So it's very possible that you're going to draw to you clients who have had some very similar experiences in their life to perhaps what you've had in your life. And it may be that you need some therapeutic intervention yourself, or it may be that you just need to talk a little bit with a therapist as well. So that supervision is provided for you throughout the whole training course and beyond for our graduates as well. But you are required to attend 1 hour of one-to-one supervision every month, but you can have as many of those supervision sessions as you want. If you're very busy and you need more support, you can absolutely have that. But we also offer peer supervision as well. I love peer supervision. My graduates come back and share how they're doing and share what's working for them. And it's a real kind of like, I have a question, this is what I'm dealing with. And everybody then brings their support. And it's a really wonderful way of supporting each other in life, but really effective way of supporting us in our business, but in developing our businesses. Because let's be realistic, if you look on LinkedIn at how many hypnotherapists there are, there's a lot. There's a lot of qualified hypnotherapists out there, but they're not working. And I do believe that supervision and that support that we provide helps you personally, it helps you in your own life, but it really helps you to develop as a professional, as a therapist, as a mental health worker. And it really helps you to develop and grow your business as well, which I think you got to be realistic. At the end, we want to, by the time you graduate, we want to see our students ready to enter into full-time practice when they graduate, because we are experiencing a wave of need in terms of mental wellbeing support. So we really feel it's absolutely vital to have you absolutely ready to get out into the field and support people. And we need that support ourselves too, if we're going to be effective therapists.
Absolutely crucial. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, absolutely right. And I'm so glad that, that you have the infrastructure to be able to offer that support. Within the talking, within all therapies, but specifically within the talking therapies, it's absolutely crucial to have that sort of mentoring, supervision, that sort of thing. But what I love, though, and just touching on what you said there, is the idea that you equip your students so thoroughly because of the nature of the course and the structure of it, and it's a lot of work to go through. But I love the idea, as you say, that they can literally, as soon as they've graduated, start working with clients. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So it's, it really is an investment in a completely new career, as opposed to just doing something that you find interesting and might sort of dabble with. I think, you're really setting them up for success, aren't you?
Absolutely. And I think having confidence in yourself, having confidence in your own ability is really important too. So right from day one, on the foundation weekend, we actually give you a hypnotic audio that you can take home and listen to, which actually really helps you to build your confidence as a therapist, so that we're kind of building you up from the inside out, as well as giving you the information and resources and giving you lots of opportunity to practice in a classroom where you're supervised, lots of opportunity to practice one-to-one with your friends, family, and colleagues. But also, because our foundation course is accredited by the Complementary Medical Association, you can actually get insurance to practice with Balens. And that means that throughout your training course, you have got the backing of the CMA and, of course, the therapists, the tutors and therapists, because all of our tutors are therapists as well. You've got the support of us so that you can actually start working once you've completed that coursework and had that supervision session as well. Once you've completed all that required work for the foundation weekend, you can actually start working with clients whilst you're training. You know, one of the things that I found really challenging when I graduated as a therapist was that I'd worked with colleagues and I'd worked with friends and I'd worked with family, and I was really comfortable with that. But when it came to asking someone to pay me for my services, that was so scary and so challenging. And I was too cheap to start with, to be honest, because I didn't really value myself, because I didn't have that confidence. So we want to really support our graduates, our students and our graduates to have that real confidence, to have that belief in themselves, to know their value, and to confidently be able to deliver therapeutic interventions and really help people who, there's so many people who need our help right now. So yeah, it's really, you know, I'm passionate about supporting our students to get out there and start working. Obviously, though, we are quite restrictive in terms of what you can actually do while you're training, but we're very clear about what you can do, what you can't do, what you mustn't do, and we're very clear on how we can support you to enable you to start actually working with real clients as well, because that's going to really build your confidence. Once you've done it a couple of times, then you're really going for it. And by the time you get to graduation, you're ready to hit the ground running, hopefully with already an established practice once you get started.
That is amazing, and that is very different from the way that a lot of colleges actually work. So I think it's really that's a hugely important thing that you've touched on there. And I think obviously I know that both you and I would agree, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers would agree, that clinical hypnotherapy is such an important intervention, particularly now we're in 2021, and we've seen the fallout from COVID. You know, people with job losses and people's lives being turned upside down. So I think that if anybody is, I mean, obviously I've got my thoughts about it, but I'd love your thoughts about it, Amanda Joy. If somebody is, perhaps they've lost their job or what have you, and that then maybe looking to retrain. How do you feel that clinical hypnotherapy fits in with, a new career path, for example? How viable do you feel that is?
Well, I have been very fortunate. I arrived back in this country not so long ago now and started my practice. And I've been really blessed in that I've been super busy from the day I opened my doors. And I think, that you need to be visible. People need to know you exist. You need to have some good old-fashioned business sense and business knowledge. And we do build into our training course as well how to develop your business. We do support you with some business input, and we also provide continuing professional development for our students and graduates. We have lots of wonderful specialists who come in who show you how to use social media, how to use blogging blogging and podcasting and YouTube and video to really reach people who need to know you exist. How viable is it? Well, like I say, there's so much need at the moment. And what I love about clinical hypnotherapy is that you can do as much or as little as you want, really. So we've got some graduates who are full-time mums. Now, I don't know, like we've just having a sort of a strange year where mums of full-time mums are having to do the jobs of dinner ladies and school teachers, and they're having to be counselors and nurses, and that job has just got more complex, hasn't it, with homeschooling. But clinical hypnotherapy is something that you can do around your children. It's something that you can do around the things that are actually really vital and important in your life. So for me, I don't have any children, so I'm able to work right throughout the day. And I'm able to choose the hours that I want to work. And the feedback that I'm getting from my students and graduates is that they are able to also choose the hours that they want to work. It can be an evening or a couple of evenings or at the weekends, because there is such a need for people to have that mental and emotional well-being support at the moment that, you can pretty much choose when you want to work, which is a lovely thing. And I know for many years I worked as a massage therapist, and massage therapy was amazing, and I love it, still love it now. I have as many massages as I possibly can have, but you are very limited in where you can do it. You're very limited in how you can do it, whereas with clinical hypnotherapy, you can create audios and you can create videos. You can work like this via Zoom, or via you can work with multiple people at the same time this way, or you can kind of work in a more classic way, that one-to-one in a kind of clinical setting. You can work alongside healthcare practitioners. We're currently working alongside, I won't say their name, but a company who create apps for people's emotional and mental well-being. So although in your mind you might think, oh, I need an office, I need a clinical space, and I need to work 9 till 5 Monday to Friday, that's actually really not true. With clinical hypnotherapy, it's hugely flexible, and because of the dynamic nature of the therapy, and because of how transformational it is, and because of how effective it is, you can actually deliver that in lots of different ways as well. So we look at all of the different ways that you can deliver your services as well, that actually suit you, that work for you within your life. And yeah, I feel it's incredibly abundant. It's a beautiful way of giving and helping and supporting people, but you receive as well. It's rewarding work, it's enriching work, but financially it pays, which is kind of what we need to live too. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful career to change and go into. And I stopped doing massage altogether, and I mostly just work online now, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to working with people in person, face to face. But it's wonderful that I've had that option to be able to deliver therapy and support people right throughout lockdown, when it's been really challenging for a lot of people. It's been wonderful to be able to support people when they've really needed us to, in a way that, in so many different ways. So yeah, I think it's a great career choice.
I think I completely agree, and I totally echo what you're saying. And I think what's so wonderful about what you're offering is the sheer amount of support that you give. And I love the idea that you are supplying so much of an infrastructure. So it's almost like a career in a box, isn't it? If that doesn't sound but you are genuinely, you are giving so much, and I think that is fantastic. And so yes, I just want to say thank you so much for explaining all of this. And what we need to know now, I guess, is if anybody wants to contact you, which I'm sure they will do, how do they get hold of you, Amanda Joy?
Well, they can find us on social media, but they can also go to our website as well, where the Northern College of Clinical Hypnotherapy. They could just Google, they'll find us, but they can find us through the CMA website too. And that'll be, yeah, you just find us on social media, find us on the internet, find our website, find us through the CMA website, and you can get in touch with us. But you can actually just pick up the phone and call me as well. I am available to chat to on the phone.
Well, that's
We
always
love
good.
to have a good chat with people, if you can tell. So yeah, do just pick up the phone and you can chat to us as well and ask us questions. Make sure that it's the right course, the right training for you. And if you are a caring person, if you want to be, we say, be a bright light in your communities. But if you want to support people's mental and emotional well-being, if you want to help people sort of stop smoking, get fitter and healthier, have a different mindset, change their perceptions about the world that they live in, this is really an amazing and a beautiful and rewarding career. Great. It's a great job. Doesn't feel like work to me. I just love it.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for being with me today. It's been an absolute blessing to spend time with you. As always, you're such a wonderful lady. And I'm so, you're just doing so much good in the world, Amanda Joyce. So thank you so very much for that.
Oh,
And
thank you for having me on.
it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. Wishing you well, and we'll stay in touch. And then, obviously, if anybody has any questions, please, everybody, just contact Amanda Joy and her colleagues. By phone, by email, and so on. We'll make sure that the contact details, are all underneath this video for you, so that
Wonderful. Thank you.
Easy. Yeah, makes it easy for you to contact her. And I shall leave it there. But thank you so much. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for explaining everything so clearly.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care. All the best.
Bye.